Hello music gang, I hope you're all doing very well. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a gear review, and the piece of gear that I'm going to be reviewing is this stunning Cloudburst reverb pedal by Strymon. Now, before purchasing this pedal, Strymon were on my radar for a while, but I just hadn't dived into any of the pedals that Strymon have on offer. But I've just been hearing amazing things by them. They've been putting out some really quality gear, and one of these came up for a really good price on Facebook Marketplace. I couldn't resist purchasing it. So this was me kind of dipping my toe into the Strymon product range. I was actually looking for a reverb pedal, and this thing does what I needed it to do, which was something very, very basic and far more than that. And I was actually blown away by some of the features that this pedal offers, and I'm going to be going through all of the features that this pedal has today. So let's get into it. Okay, so here is the pedal. You can see all the controls on the front of this pedal. Now the decay here on the left, adjusting this just adjust the length of the reverb tail from very short to basically infinite, so it just keeps trailing off. The mix, this dial blends your dry and wet signals, which lets you just dial in just the right amount of reverb into the mix. And then tone here, this shapes how bright or how dark you want the reverb to be. So this switch here for the ensemble mode is actually the secret sauce. So you can move this to the left, which is turning ensemble off. You can put it to the middle, which is kind of having it on, but not all the features. And then turn it to the right is full ensemble mode, which this mode adds many different harmonic layers that react dynamically to your playing. And it is really beautiful. It's almost like an orchestra when you're playing. And this works on chords, this works on individual notes. It's really amazing. This modulation dial adds subtle pitch or timing variations to the reverb trail, which can add a little bit of movement and texture, which can be quite nice for adding some atmosphere. And then this pre-delay dial is the time between the original sound and when the reverb effects start. So this is measured in milliseconds. So the longer the pre-delay, this can make it feel like the reverb is coming from a larger space. Then on top of the pedal, you have a USB-C input, which keeps your pedal updated with all the latest features, or if there's been any bug fixes, and allows you to integrate the pedal into your DAW bass setup, which for studio work, if you're recording. So then you have a 9-volt DC input, which powers the pedal. And Strymon pedals are known for their high quality processing, so this is important to make sure that your power supply meets the requirements to avoid any glitches or noise or anything like that. Unfortunately, Strymon pedals don't take 9-volt batteries like the Boss ones do, but because of the onboard processing, it just requires the consistent power from a proper power source. So then you have the mono and stereo switch. Mono is great for playing through simple setups like single amps, and then switch it to stereo if you're playing through 2 amps or stereo PA systems for a little bit more spacious effect. So then you have the input. So this is what it says on the tin. It is where your guitar or bass or whatever instrument you're using signal goes in here. So then you have the output, which sends the process signal to your amp, your mixer, or other pedals in the chain. I haven't used this input, but it is a jack for either an expression pedal or an external MIDI control, which allows you to control either the decay or mix or parameters in real time. So this can be great for hands-free control for live performance if you want to really sculpt that sound in your live shows on the spot. So that gives you an overview of the pedal's hardware. Now let's get into why you came to this video, which I'm sure is how this thing sounds. So this is what the guitar sounds like, completely neutral. This is no plug-in or anything on it. Just a little bit of light compression. And here's what the Cloudburst sounds like, kind of a standard reverb. quite spacious, but not too complex. Quite a moderate reverb. Got the decay set to 2 o'clock. Got the mix at about 50-50 balance. The tone is set to 12 o'clock neutral sound. I've got the ensemble off. And the pre-delay is quite short for more of a tight response, and the modulation is completely off. So you can see if I just play some nice chords. See, it's quite a lush but straightforward reverb. All right, so let's go on to the next sound. So now I have activated the ensemble mode. So we've got the decay to 3 o'clock, which has a lot of more of a longer trail. We've got, again, the mix kept at 12 o'clock for a nice balanced wet and dry mix. The ensemble is on for this one. It's on the middle switch. And you can hear those nice harmonies coming in. Absolutely gorgeous. The pre-delay is on a medium setting of about 40 to 60 milliseconds, which creates quite a lot of space between the dry signal and the reverb. Modulation is set fairly high, about 2 o'clock, for quite a rich modulation and to add a little bit of character there. So you can really hear the ensemble kicking in there. Cool, let's go to more of an extreme setting. Okay, so this is what it sounds like with the ensemble fully engaged. Absolutely stunning. Lovely. Whew. Got the decay fairly high, 3 o'clock position. We've got the mix, 12 o'clock again, nice balanced mix. Dialed down the tone a little bit, so it's slightly less bright, so it's a lot more moody and cinematic. And of course, the ensemble is fully on now. Modulation is pretty high, so it adds to that kind of dreamlike sound. Get some nice volume swells. Wow, it's absolutely, this would have a very specific use case. I can't really imagine using this like mid-song, for example, but if you're making like soundscapes for games, or maybe like you're doing cinematic background noise for like a movie or something, or a show, this could definitely be pretty useful. Lush. Okay, so this is the most natural kind of room sounding. very natural. I've got the decay set to 9 o'clock. The mix at around 10, so it's more on the dry side. Modulation is completely off. Pre-delay set to very low as well. The tone 12 o'clock, so kind of like a medium, dark, bright, kind of in the middle. And modulation completely off for this one. Just nice, natural, subtle reverb. Perfect. If you're going for like a normal reverb, this is probably what the closest you're going to get from this. So this reverb can do it all. It can do the crazy cinematic stuff. It can do the nice, subtle, dry stuff. Jack of all trades. Okay, so now we have the modulated reverb. So the high modulation kind of adds more of like a chorusy effect. So it's great for lead lines. You won't hear it too much whilst playing chords. Oh, it's a lovely shimmer. Beautiful. So for the modulated reverb, I've got the decay set to 12 o'clock, the mix set nice and balanced 12 o'clock, pre-delay nice and short, so it's quite snappy, tone about 1 o'clock, so it's more on the brighter side, and the modulation set to 3 o'clock, so it gives that nice chorusy sound to it. Lovely. So what do I think of the Strymon Cloudburst? Well, obviously I absolutely love this pedal. It has earned a place on my pedal board and it is here to stay. You can pick one up for around £240, and although it is more on the expensive side compared to some other pedals and other brands, I think with the added features, the ensemble effect and the build quality that Strymon has in all of its products is absolutely worth it. This can be used for a standard semi kind of dry natural sounding reverb. If you want it for that, that's definitely kind of what I use it for more often than not. Or if you want to get creative and make some cinematic soundscapes, you can flick that ensemble switch on and you can use it for that as well. Add some modulation and you've got a really cool kind of chorus sounding reverb as well. So it's super versatile and it's more than just your bog standard reverb pedal. That's why I love it, and I think Strymon have done an amazing job with this pedal, so I would highly recommend it for anyone looking for a new reverb. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the subscribe button. If you want to grab the Strymon Cloudburst, there's a link in the description of this video below, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.